Hey guys, Junlocks here, back with our blind playthrough of What Remains of Edith Finch. Oh, the video game control. Did I go in? I don't think I actually went in last time. I opened the door and then I say, wait, I just looked at it. I didn't mean to. Okay. That's what we're doing? Oh, just looking at it causes you to, you're compelled. All right, cool.
Lewis's room smelled very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Dude, well, maybe. Also, I thought we didn't have power. Is this solar? The video game controller? For which system? And it's not N64. What is that? Just generic? The part of his room that smelled like marijuana. And a exercise ball. Strange. It is a Wonderland Turbo? Is that supposed to be a Wonder Swan? Or, I mean, it kind of looks like a PS1.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
High school diploma. Hey, that's good, man. VCR, a little mini fridge. There's the diploma. Yep. Tie-dye peace sign. Computer. Red King's Dream. Beer. What is that little thing? An action figure of some kind? 2 action figures? Locker contents. So I don't have any, again, I don't have any problem with drugs or whatever, but you have to, I don't know, man. Even though I'm drinking now, I'm trying to give up alcohol because I was drinking too much for a while, you know? These things, they become habits, and then if you give into them too much, they take over your life, you know? Especially considering I have a history of depression. I assume I have some sort of genetic predisposition to it. Well, that and the child abuse. Yeah. Drinking actually kind of makes me happy. And so I want to do it a lot because I'd like to feel happy a lot. But long term, it's probably not good. You know? So that's kind of my thing. I'm trying to give it up so that I could see what it's like to be without it and maybe rewire my brain to be kind of like the unique positive moment, right? It's you're rewiring your brain to be better by not doing the things that artificially make you feel better. It's sort of this I mean, there's possibly like a dependency thing, but I'm speaking in general, but also there's stuff that concerns me where your body will stop doing stuff or like with a pacemaker, right? Your body can become, your heart can become pacemaker dependent because you put in a pacemaker, your heart's kind of struggling, and then as soon as someone else takes over, your body's like, yeah, you do it. I'm not doing it anymore. And so you become dependent upon that. Your body can no longer, it doesn't have the capacity to do it for itself anymore because someone else took over. And I really wonder about some of these medications, like antidepressants and stuff that they prescribe people, what those do, especially long term. You know, I was on them for a while, and I was like, I don't want to be on them, so I had to wean myself off. Because you don't want to go, you do not go cold turkey. You have to lower, you know, if you're at, you know, whatever, you get down to the starting dose, and then you can stop, but because I don't know, maybe it's like 50 milligrams, and then they bump you up to 100, and then 150, and then 200, right? It's like, okay, well, if you're at 200, you go down to 150 or 175, you know? And you do that for a couple weeks or a month. And then you drop your dosage again, couple weeks to a month. See how you react going through that. If all of a sudden it's really hard, you could bump it up just a little bit. You know, but the goal is to reacclimate yourself to suffering, basically. Ease yourself into it. You know? Because you can handle it. You can. You just have to work at it. You have to be trained. Lewis Finch. Yep. To Dawn Finch, which is his mom. Institute of Psychology. Okay. Was he a secret genius?
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the Cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
Is that a video game character?
wander.
Oh, weird. I have mouse control over the arm, but also WASD controls my little cleric dude. Well, so, and this is... Oh, do I... Right.
I asked him to describe it.
Uh-huh.
He said he started small.
Oh, yeah.
Imagining a labyrinth.
Uh-huh.
He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats.
Try not to break the game.
And toads.
The hell's that thing? Dragon? Hang on, I'm falling behind on my fish.
And things that have not names.
It's called my penis. Oh, sorry. It's dark.
He knew it was all in his head.
What does that mean?
But he took it very seriously.
Is this like the satanic panic thing of D&D?
I had hoped he'd find himself.
You know, it's interesting.
But he found something more.
All these psychologists, they want you to just be... I don't know. Them. They want you to be them. You know what I mean? Or something. I don't know...
I worried about him then.
Why? Is he having delusions?
Daydreaming at the Cannery. I spoke with his boss.
Oh, see, now you fucked up.
But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
What is his boss gonna do? Okay, see, this is interesting because it is expanding, right?
I even encouraged him.
Okay, all right.
It seemed very promising at first.
Game design's fucking miserable, though.
He told me he'd made a new friend.
A dog? The dog just wanted... The dog just liked you because you smelled like fish.
On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia.
It's a bit silly.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick.
Mental illness.
Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
You know, here's the things. Here's the thing. There are people like Pixel, or the dude that did As Libra, that work on their passion projects for years. They do this. They do this shit. They do this dull, meaningless job that just pays the bills.
He no longer spoke at the Cannery,
Why would you?
but his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him
Uh-huh.
that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination,
Sure.
so he could do whatever he wished.
Okay.
He held an election for mayor,
The fuck is this?
and he won. They
Where-
begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
What's that? You notice it's starting to take over the whole screen?
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
Yep. Oh, interesting. The text is like... It kind of looks...
Louisville.
Kind of looks like English, and then it turns to Arabic or something as we go...
St. Louis.
Yeah, weird delusions of grandeur, but... You know, it is very Satanic
He
Panic-ish.
started drifting away from our reality.
Exactly, right? Video games are gonna ruin your mind. That D&D, it's a path to... D&D is a path to, you know, Satan worship, guys.
Minneapolis.
Oh, I get it.
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Oh, because he wanted to live in his world forever?
Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
Oh. That's dark. Because he's just like... You know? Beautiful prince, handsome...
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
queen, I guess? We're not gay. Although, either way, they're both masculine.
handsome queen.
How do you know what happened after this point, by the way? If he stopped going home, you know what I mean?
Queen was on her own quest for...
Fuck it, let's go with rainbows. I don't know. Could be a gay euphemism as well,
radiant rainbows.
But whatever. Yep, knock that shit over. We're drunk driving, bitches.
He followed the sound of her...
Electric sitar. Yeah, sure, why not? I thought
electric sitar.
I thought it was electric guitar, and then I'm like, oh, the Indian thing. Sure, whatever. Actually, that makes sense with the language, right? Oh, that's cool.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
That's cool.
Even then, his logic remained sound.
Okay. Is he gonna, like, cut his hand off by mistake?
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Why 3 at once? What was that sound? Oh, the door is opening?
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Yeah, weird delusions of grandeur and stuff. That's why challenge is so important.
Someone who'd never known success in the real world. I think it was overwhelming.
But again, it's you're believing in a lie.
That the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Yeah, that's definitely mental illness right there.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
They don't have faces, you notice that? Oh. So this is the Cannery? Blood? Rainbow glory. The real Lewis, huh? Imperial Palace. I get it. Oh, a little... I guess a DS? They don't care.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
There's nothing wrong with paying the bills, dude. Like, that's the thing. Do I enjoy my job? I like the money, right? Money I like, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You know? You do what pays the bills, and if you don't want to do what pays the bills, if the work doesn't fulfill you, there's other avenues. You know what I mean? If this dude wants to create something, like, that's the thing. At some point, you have to be... I feel like this whole thing is also a symptom of the whole family holding onto the past, right? It's like, you don't stay static. You have to move forward. You know, it's very... If you've watched The Neverending Story as a child, and you haven't as an adult, rewatch it. Rewatch it as an adult. It is way different. You know? It's not actually the whole book, because there was a book. It's only about the first half. But there's a speech at the very beginning that the dad does, where he's basically like, you know, the kid's like, hey, I'm still sad about mom. And the dad's like, hey, I know. Both of us miss mom. Like, you know, she died. But you can't let it hold. I'm paraphrasing. He's basically saying, hey, you can't let it hold you down. You can't let her death stop you from doing what needs to be done. You know, you can't be chained down, right? You have to live. And that's the thing here. It's like you need to, if you're unsatisfied, like, okay, so maybe he's not smart enough to do anything else. I doubt that. But let's say that's the case. There's plenty of other things you could do. Video games, for example, that challenge you, that stimulate that make you feel engaged and fulfilled. And maybe the work does not. That's okay. If it pays the bills, that's good enough. You could find meaning in other ways. And that's why family is so important, because family is the only thing that really matters, you know? When I'm dying, you know, when in the future, when I have my massive heart attack and I fucking die on the floor over there, am I going to be like, oh, I wish I'd forced myself to play through Breath of the Wild, the other 75% that I didn't do? Am I going to be thinking that? No. I'll probably be like, I hope someone is able to feed my cats. You know? Because they're my family. If they eat my face or my fingers or whatever little tasty bits, I'm cool with that because I want them to live. You know? If I had kids, if I had a spouse, wife, you know, not gay, but whatever. Not against it necessarily, just not into dudes or buttholes, specifically dudes' buttholes or dicks, you know. Maybe a bit too specific there, but whatevs. Like, I kind of wish I was gay because women are, you know, most women will not, like, play video games and stuff with you. But anyway, yeah, it's the family. Family matters. You know, family is what gives your life meaning, or at least it should be. There's all sorts of ways you can give your life meaning. You know, that's why this is sad. I feel like this does happen, but I feel like this is played too often as like, oh, the satanic panic of D&D and video games and, you know, all that stuff. It's like, this dude had a family. You know, and here's the thing. If he's bad at stuff, he can work at it. You know? Are we going to watch him, like, shove his hand into the frickin'...
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Which man? Himself? Finch 9. Is he even... I mean... Okay, so two things. First, where the fuck was his mom standing? And secondly, he's not actually moving the fish. Where were the fish coming from? You know what I mean? I mean, well, okay, so this is a figurative thing. Because we're supposed to walk up there and go into the light. And you'll look, we are Lewis, that you can tell by the hair. Yep, and we have, well, I don't know what we're wearing, to be honest, but whatevs.
I still thought I could save him.
You can't. People have to save themselves. You can't save anyone else.
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
You can't help those that don't want to be saved.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
But again, it doesn't... Oh, we can't move. Are we about to get our head chopped off as well? We're on the conveyor belt. Oh, no, I can. Or can I? Yeah, just slow.
The wise Calico had insisted on inviting them.
The cat? Oh, the stained glass. Interesting.
The Queen waited, holding his crown.
Yeah, lean forward. Let me put this on you. And then he shoves his head into the fish chopper. God,
There was
yeah.
only one thing left to do.
Even she doesn't have a
Bend
face.
down his head.
Yep, I knew it. This is fucking dark. Dude.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
But... So he must have told her that before...
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Dark. I mean, that's the thing, right? It's like there's... Is that a Pakistani flag? I assume it's the India flag, but I have no
He
idea.
was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Just a Finch, yet they're known for being famous, right? How are we doing on time? Yep, it's interesting. We're going up the spire.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
That we were leaving. Yeah. Weird. And all the
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Yeah. What is this?
I wish we'd stayed.
Oh, packing peanuts. I'm like, what the hell is this thing? Oh, yeah, and it's making the popping sounds. Yep.
But I understand why we left.
See, that's the thing. If there's truly a curse, you can't escape. Sam, in that way, was kind of right. You have to meet the shit head on. You know? And in fact, that's... it's the whole... Everyone dies. You know? It's, I don't know about Persona 3... Royal or the remaster or whatever. I'd probably try and go with the original if you can. But that's, even though that's like super edgelord and all this stuff, because it has the whole like, the evoker is basically a pistol you put to your head and shoot yourself to bring out your persona, your magical powers. Even though it's super dark about, and it's all about death, it's actually about life. It's about everybody dies. You know? Everyone dies, so make the most of what time you have. That's what it's about.
Mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Why? She was gonna bring her books as well, or... Oh, no. Disaster relief. Oh, yeah. You've called your servants to ventures. Gonna see the ending is paths, yes, untrodden, perils unknown, give us faith to go out with good courage. Is, India, though, is not Christian, right?
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
What happened?
Maybe it should have come sooner.
The freak out? Or the fight or something? What is this? The kite. Strange.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Okay. This is Edith's room. The culmination of everything. Hopefully it's not like, Oh, and those... Oh, that's those action figures in Lewis's room. Those were the people in his fantasy or whatever. You know? And by the way, here's the thing. Every once in a while I see people... There's sort of a meme, I don't know, of the Final Fantasy VIII character, like Selphie, with a noose, and she's like, you gotta do it to come to us. You can live in our world, you just have to kill yourself. And it's like, no, don't do that. Even if none of this is real, even if this is all a simulation as some people think, ending yourself within it will not help. You know, even if you can't tell the difference between reality and fake, even if, like, solipsism, right, where you think this is all in your head, all you can do is make the best of it. That's it. That's all you could do. If you can't tell that it's not real, it's, for all intents and purposes, it's real, and you just have to make the best of it. You know, make yourself the best version of yourself that you can. You know? You know, the goal is not... Suicide is like an escape, but you should not be trying to run. You should be tactically retreating, right? Because sometimes you're facing overwhelming odds. That just happens. Sometimes you have to withdraw and regroup. You know, he who lives and fights and runs away lives to fight another day, something like that. You're not running. Running is not the end. Running is a means to a different end, if you will, right? You're withdrawing so that you can regroup. You know, rest, regroup, reset, whatever. Tackle it again. You know? That's all. It's interesting seeing a lot of the stuff made from newspapers. All these things. And notice the books. There's books everywhere still, but they're not... like they're blank. They're almost bullshit. Coat hangers. Yeah. Signs of paper crafting. Yep, okay. What is this? A quill? Like a pen. Okay.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word.
Mm-hmm.
Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, You know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Also, conflict is inevitable, even with family. Like, you're not always going to get along. It's a question of, I guess the question is how you argue. You know, do you still love each other? Do you still have each other's backs? You know, are you arguing to tear each other down? You know? And that's, I mean, call me a sexist if you want. This is why men generally lead. You know, women, when they fight, they tear each other down. And when they fight, they tear people down in general. Men, dude, men will fight, okay? But then, when we're done, assuming we're on the same side, we make up. It's a... Again, men and women understand consequences, or we experience consequences differently. You know, men generally experience consequences, women generally don't. I mean, it's a bit more complex than that. Women experience delayed consequences, but whatever. These are all generalizations, okay? If you want to get pissed at me, go ahead. The point is how you fight. Don't tear each other down. Say your piece, get angry. You know, we all have these petty little bullshit things that we want to say. You know, we're all basically children on the inside. But as adults, it's important to learn when to stop. You know, you fight and then you back up. You're like, I'm done. I'm leaving. That's why, you know, you have to be able to disengage. You know, if you know you're not going to be able to hold back, get out of there, you know? And yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard. Yeah, you'll notice, like, okay, I don't know, whatever. Women know they can't get hit, and so they say all sorts of heinous shit. You know? And again, it's like, that's part of the choice that I support. It's like, I will support your desire for freedom, but, you know, that is one of the consequences that comes with it. You know? You choose, because that's the thing. It's like if a man would say some of the shit that women say to men would get fucking killed. But, oh no, you're not supposed to hit me, I'm a woman. It's like, yeah, okay. Is it any wonder society is kind of coming apart? You know, I think, honestly, if men were allowed to discipline their wives, I'm not saying beat, I'm not saying abuse, you know, but here's the thing, if you want to say some shit, you have to be able to take the responsibility. That's why men are disengaging, right? Men are like, yeah, I'm not dealing with you anymore. You say something off the chain, we're done. Because you're not going to get into an argument where the woman is trying to tear down the man. He's either gonna hit her, or he's gonna leave. That's your choice. So all you women out there that are ungovernable, right? The whole become ungovernable. Enjoy your independence. You know? It's the Grandma Edith here. She's doing the right thing. The daughter, and the daughter I mean the mom, right? Dawn's being a child. Because Dawn is like, no, we're gonna fight now. You don't tell, blah, 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 blah. Instead of being like, okay, that's something I, you know, Grandma told my daughter, you know, to go outside for a minute. I'll let that one go because having grace is important. Not being like, no, we're gonna fight about every little thing. It's like, you gotta let the little shit go. Let the little shit go, fight about the big stuff, and then go from there. Because that stuff, not being able to let little things go is why families get torn apart. There's a reason the grandma has been in a house full of all these people and Dawn has not. It's, you gotta be able to live with other people. You gotta be able to let some shit go. You know? Dudes oftentimes know this. We'll fight, but we'll, you know, it annoys the fuck out of me personally because I'm usually the peacemaker. I'm letting stuff go because no one else will, and I don't want to argue with people. I'm just like, okay. There's a hierarchy, and I'm not at the top. I know this. But also, you know, community, camaraderie, whatever, teamwork is important. You're not going to do that if everyone's trying to tear each other down over the littlest shit. Anyway, that's my piece. Let's, I realize I hit a bunch of tangents. Hopefully we still have enough time to finish these things.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
Yep.
When my mom sailed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Okay. Oh.
Or that Edie had a key to it.
The hell? Okay, it's been opened. Edie would have a key to everything. Also the door. Oh, I was like, it should be right there. It is. You notice it's not big. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. The door was sealed, but when we looked in earlier, you could see all the... You couldn't see this. You saw the actual room itself. So
The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
the curse? There's a bed in here?
Edith has a right to know these stories.
Oh.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
So the mom blames the grandma for the death of her kids?
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning.
Wow.
Okay?
That's fucked. Especially with what I know of doctors and stuff. Don't put people in nursing homes. History of the Finches by Edie Finch.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Am I Grandma Edith?
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
What's...
There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, tsunami?
They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years.
Oh, there's the platform.
God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
The coast smells pretty fucking terrible. Everyone's like, oh, the sea, it smells so fresh. No, it fucking doesn't. It's full of dead fish. And rot.
But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
We're gonna keep going forward. Oh, see that? Yeah, really clever.
I got turned around.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Look for the light. Look for the flashing. Look for the flashing red. Fuck, I don't know. Let's go this way.
I started seeing things.
It's possible the buck was actually there.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
Oh, these are all the... Yeah.
Or maybe I came back to them.
There shouldn't be a gate here. That's awkward as fuck.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
See?
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
Again. You know, she's willing to destroy her family in order to be right. Or in order to win. Right? She's fighting with her kid, fighting with her mom. You know?
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Yep.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Of course. She's like, fuck it. My medication says I can't drink
After
alcohol,
that, we
but...
moved around a lot.
Yep. Her mom destroyed her entire family. Congratulations, Curse.
We both tried to make the best of it.
You know... Am I supposed to...
A few years went by.
How am I supposed to,
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot.
Cancer?
The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
Yep.
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this.
Found out.
If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
What the fuck is this? Is this the cervix? Is that what this is?
This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you.
God damn, am I the...
And tell you all these stories myself.
Is this the sperm's POV right now?
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Oh. Okay.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Hmm. Hmm. They know what to do. I think it's the music. I don't know. I'm a big softie. Saving. Good. I don't know, man. It's not... The problem is it's nothing special. And I don't mean that in a like a super negative way. It's all kind of... like, oh, I'm not gonna be here, and just like, what? It's all like, feel your feelings, man. Feel your dreams. I don't know. So you play as the kid. You play as her... Well, okay. You play as her kid, reading the book, and then you play as her, reliving that? I don't... It doesn't make any fucking sense. Who put the gravestone there for her? You know? Like, I'm sorry, it's beautiful until you start to think about it, and then it doesn't make any fucking sense. Purple heart. Alright, hurry up, I gotta pee. Yeah, it's very... I don't know, man. It's one of those that... It's sort of like emotional junk food in a way. It's like, you know, you do the thing and then I tear up and I'm like, oh, it's so tragic. And then I think about it, I'm like, it doesn't matter much. There's no real lasting stuff. That's kind of the problem, is it's... I like the game. I like that it sort of gets these little snapshots of people. She's playing with a toy shotgun? Okay, I thought it was a real shotgun at first, and then I'm like, what? Probably a toy. It's cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where, again, it's like the unfinished Swan, because the same studio made it. It's like, you look at it and you're like, whoa, it's all white and I'm exposing the environment as I splash it with paint. But it is very... Trick or treat, smell my feet, yeah. It is very, like, surface level. You know what I mean? The Edith Finch team. 5 years to make? Ooh, what are we transforming into? The end. Okay. So 5 years to make with, I don't know, 15 people. Ah, Dawn. Okay. Ah, yes. So she's drawn in there now. So is Dawn. Edith was in there from the beginning. Clever, 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 clever. Wait, replay a story? Oh, to do all of them? That's kind of the thing, like, why? Right? Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was good. Not great. Not great, because that's... I think I said this at the beginning, like, it... I compared it to, a story about my uncle, where it's like, it doesn't really have any lasting character development. This I would say I enjoyed. But I enjoyed it because of what I brought to it, not necessarily because the game itself is good. You know what I mean? As far as character development and that sort of thing, no. You know? So... Still, at least, you know, I felt something. That's worth something. As opposed to Story About My Uncle, which was fucking trash. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed these episodes. As always, questions, comments, concerns, good, bad, or indifferent, let me hear them. I do read all of them. I do try and respond to all of them as well. What is your guys' unique positive moment for today? For me, I'm going to say finishing the game. I didn't think I was going to today. I thought I'd do a few episodes and then do something else. But yeah, glad we got it done with, because I need... I'm like running behind on videos for the channel. So normally I have a couple weeks in advance. I'm down to like 3 days or something. Or 2. So, but also I'm glad I played it, because I Super Bunny Hop talked about it in 2017, 8 years ago, something like that. So, that is all. That is my unique positive moment. Hopefully your guys just as good, if not better. Hopefully better, of course. And I hope to see you guys next time. Till then, guys, take care.